Christopher Nolan is one of the most visionary and mysterious filmmakers in Hollywood. With mind-bending plots, stunning visuals, and a filmmaking style that keeps audiences captivated, his movies have left an undeniable mark on the industry. But behind the scenes, Nolan has a few fascinating secrets that most fans don't know. From his unconventional directing techniques to his obsession with practical effects, today we're diving into 9 secrets of Christopher Nolan that will make you appreciate his films even more. Segment 1. He never uses a traditional script for action scenes. Most directors meticulously plan out action sequences using storyboards and pre-visualization to map out every movement. But not Nolan. He prefers to let action unfold naturally on set, allowing actors and stunt coordinators to work in real time. This creates a more raw and immersive experience. For example, the iconic hallway fight in Inception, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt fights in a rotating corridor, was filmed using practical effects and real choreography rather than CGI or motion capture. Even in The Dark Knight, the truck flip scene was a practical stunt executed with precision. By keeping action organic, Nolan ensures that his movies feel as real and intense as possible.
He missed!
Segment 2. He avoids CGI whenever possible. In an era where filmmakers rely heavily on CGI, Nolan goes in the opposite direction. He believes that practical effects create a sense of realism that CGI simply can't replicate. Instead of green screens, Nolan prefers to build massive sets, use real locations, and perform practical stunts. One of the best examples of this is Interstellar. The black hole in the movie wasn't just a random CGI creation, it was based on real physics calculations by Nobel Prize-winning physicist Kip Thorne. The visuals were so accurate that they were later published in a scientific journal. Similarly, in Tenet, the film's time-reversing sequences were shot practically. Actors performed fight scenes both forward and backward to create the illusion of time inversion. And in Oppenheimer, Nolan recreated an atomic explosion without CGI using real explosions and clever camera work. Segment 3. He prefers film over digital. While most directors have embraced digital filmmaking, Nolan remains one of the strongest advocates for traditional film. He believes that shooting on 70mm or IMAX film gives movies a richer texture and depth that digital cameras can't fully replicate. In fact, when the film industry was transitioning away from celluloid, Nolan personally lobbied studios to keep 35mm and 70mm film alive. He even convinced major chains to bring back IMAX screenings for films like Dunkirk and Tenet. His dedication to traditional film formats has helped preserve a cinematic experience that many directors have abandoned. Segment 4. He keeps his scripts super secret. Nolan is notorious for keeping his scripts under tight security. He goes to extreme lengths to prevent leaks, and even his actors do not always get to read the full script. For The Dark Knight Rises, actors were only given their scenes on a need-to-know basis, and for Tenet, Robert Pattinson had to read the script in a locked room. He wasn't allowed to take it home or even photograph it. This secrecy helps maintain the mystery around Nolan's films and ensures that audiences go into them without spoilers. Segment 5. He doesn't use a smartphone or email. In a world where even the biggest Hollywood directors rely on tech, Nolan remains old school. He doesn't use a smartphone and he avoids email as much as possible. Instead, he prefers face-to-face meetings, handwritten notes, and direct conversations. Why? He believes that modern distractions, especially social media and constant notifications, interfere with deep thinking and creativity. By cutting out these distractions, Nolan keeps his mind focused on storytelling. This old-fashioned approach extends to his filmmaking process as well. He insists on minimal interference from studios, avoids focus groups, and keeps his productions as hands-on as possible. Segment 6. He loves playing with time. If there's one recurring theme in Nolan's movies, it's time. He is fascinated by the concept of time manipulation, and many of his films explored non-linear storytelling. Memento was told in reverse, showing scenes backward to match the protagonist's memory loss. Inception played with dream layers, where time moved at different speeds depending on how deep the characters went. Interstellar used time dilation, where minutes on a distant planet equaled years back on Earth. Dunkirk told 3 parallel stories unfolding over different time frames, one lasting a week, another a day, and the last just an hour. Tenet took things to another level with a plot centered around time inversion, where objects and people moved backward through time. Nolan's obsession with time makes his films uniquely engaging and intellectually challenging.
Oh. You chose the wrong profession.
Segment 7. He wrote Inception over a decade before it was made. One of Nolan's biggest hits, Inception, was actually an idea he developed long before it hit theaters. He first conceived the story in the early 2000s, but he didn't feel ready to execute it until nearly a decade later. Why the delay? Nolan knew that Inception's concept, dreams within dreams and complex rules of subconscious worlds, was so intricate that he needed time to refine it. He spent years perfecting the script and visual approach before finally bringing it to life in 2010. His patience paid off. Inception became one of the most celebrated sci-fi films of all time, winning multiple Academy Awards and influencing countless films that followed.
A single idea from the human mind can build cities. An idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it.
Segment 9. He avoids conventional hero tropes. Unlike many blockbuster directors, Nolan's protagonists are complex, morally ambiguous characters who often grapple with personal trauma and ethical dilemmas. Batman in The Dark Knight isn't just a superhero, he's a conflicted vigilante battling personal demons. In The Prestige, the rivalry between the two magicians explores obsession and sacrifice rather than clear-cut heroism. Similarly, Inception's Dom Cobb is a flawed anti-hero struggling with grief and guilt. Nolan's approach to character development ensures that audiences are not just entertained, but also intellectually and emotionally engaged. And there you have it, 7 fascinating secrets about Christopher Nolan. His commitment to practical effects, secrecy, and mind-bending storytelling makes him one of the most unique filmmakers in Hollywood. Which Nolan film is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook for even more behind-the-scenes stories from the world of entertainment. See you next time.